it. So I hope you're ready. I'm playing it now.
Now turn to Section 3. Section 3. You will hear two faculty directors talking about which person in their university to promote. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Questions 21 to 25. 5. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Okay, we've got to decide who to promote to leading education officer.
Someone from the arts faculty, I suppose.
Well, it can be from any faculty, since the position requires more general skills. Handling personnel, settling disputes and motivating them to focus on the task. It was the last position which involved computer knowledge, not this one.
Surely computer knowledge would help. So too would knowledge in the arts.
Sure, it would help, but the key criterion is being able to direct the staff appropriately.
So it doesn't matter then from which faculty we select our candidates?
Not really, but I've already looked at those from computing and rejected them all.
Why?
They're all too new, lacking in sufficient experience, whereas these ones from the business faculty are long-timers, so we'll take someone from there.
I suppose you're right. The arts faculty doesn't present much in the way of suitable candidates either.
But we'll still have to train the person, teach the ropes, as they say, and he or she will have to expect to do overtime as needed.
Of course, it can get so busy that, if we were open on the weekend, they'd have to work then as well.
Just as well we're a Monday to Friday university, right?
Right. But are you sure these people will actually want the job? The salary isn't such an improvement on their current ones.
I know, but there are benefits. You get overtime rates, a nice place to put your car, as well as additional petrol money if you drive for company purposes, which they'll probably be required to do.
But those benefits are quite limited, especially given all the work and responsibility involved. People often don't like that. They prefer the creative freedom of less senior teaching positions.
Yeah, I know. But these candidates should realise that if they do this job well, there'll be more promotions down the line. You know how everyone likes having their own office, right?
Sure.
Well, that would come after a few years, if they're prepared to work hard and grow with the university.
Yes, that should attract these people.
Before you hear the rest of the comments, to 30.
So all of you have done till here? Okay. Let me share my screen once again. I think there is some issue in my PowerPoint. It's okay. We won't be able to do the listening further because my PowerPoint is not working. But anyhow, as I've planned that after the listening session, I have planned my speaking session. So first of all, before starting with the speaking, today I have planned that everything, how from part 1, part 2, part 3 speaking sessions go on. I actually had the slides for the same, but since it is not working, then I'll be able to explain you without the presentation as well. So the very first thing is that from my personal experience, speaking is like one of the toughest things. I should not create this fear though, but then I would just want to give you all a reality check that yes, speaking is not an easier one. It is on the tougher side, and a person needs to be confident, needs to be fluent, needs to have good vocabulary, needs to use cohesive devices to get that good band score, to range between that good band score which your university requires, which could be between 7, 7.5 or 8, and getting 8.5 is like, I have never scored 8.5. I've always got Rajendra is saying, yes, ma'am, but it's easy. Okay, it's easy. So it completely depends on what your band requirement is. So I required 8, and I also require 8.5. See, it's all about lalach. You never know what you want. A person never gets satisfied. I'm a person who will get satisfied when I'll get 9 in my speaking. So I just keep on giving my IELTS exam again and again. I've already given it 4 times, and I have scored 8 in my IELTS speaking twice, and the other time I got 7.5, 7.5, so 7 also, but then I failed my rechecking and then it got increased to 7.5. So from my personal experience, what I noticed was कि वहां पर cross questioning बहुत ज्यादा होती है. In part 3, they are going to point you out at every word that you're going to say. For example, if you've said, if I am saying IELTS is tough, I need to prove it that why I'm saying it. If I'm not able to prove it, if I'm not able to explain it in my ideas, then they are going to somehow catch that, yes, you lack in your vocabulary. Yes, you have that stigma in your mind and you're not confident and you're not able to speak up basically. And then the band score basically ranges between 6, 6.5. So there are basic 4 parameters on So there are basic 4 parameters on which IELTS speaking is tested, and we're going to move on to those parameters. But before hopping onto them, I want to tell you how it works. So IELTS speaking due to COVID is these days it is being taken like my invigilator will be sitting on screen here and then I'll be giving my test. But though before these COVID times and in the certain IELTS center also, it was being taken like in the real time, the examiner was sitting in front of us. Moving ahead, as soon as we're going to enter the room, they'll make us comfortable, they'll make us sit, and if we have some technical glitch that happens in between, so there is some switch sort of thing which is there on your table. You can click on that and someone is going to come from outside and he or she is going to help you out. So in case you're not able to hear anything, or there is some technical glitch, screen is not visible, voice is cracking, or you're not able to hear, any issue which you're facing. So you don't have to stand up from there, you have to sit there only, and then you have to click on that button, because otherwise it is considered as a disqualification and your speaking won't be included if you just stand up from that seat. So these are the rules that are being mentioned, and the people who are sitting outside also, like for that check, they are going to tell you everything. So these are like the basic points. So also, the posture that you need to follow for your IELTS speaking is that you need to sit straight with your back straight, with your shoulders upright, and your hands. So your hands should be basically on the table. If it is happening in real time, then your hand should be on the lap. But if the invigilator is on the screen, then they're going to tell you, they're going to give you the instructions that your hand should be on the table so that they're visible to the examiner. And you will be given a pen and a notepad to note down your points. So as soon as you're going to enter, it is commonly considered that you should avoid saying good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, and you should start with hi or hello. And even I've noticed in my all the 4 IELTS speaking, no one said good morning. Like the invigilator didn't even said me good morning. She didn't greeted me with that. She greeted me with a very sweet hi, hello. So I also responded in the same way. Moving ahead, she made me comfortable. She asked me to sit, and then I sat down. And then she had certain formalities that she was doing, like she was filling up some forms, she has to talk, then she'll be recording the entire session as well. So she informs us that yes, she's starting the recording, and that student ID and application number. So she's going to start with our name. She's going to ask what I can call you, by what name I can call you. So you need to respond in a very gentle way that yes, you can call me Isha, or you can address me with your first name. And moving ahead, so this is like the basic introduction which is actually happening right now. And so there are 2 questions. The first one will be, she'll be asking you your name, and she'll be asking you how she can call you, how she can address you. And the second thing, that she's going to check your ID, your passport. So she's going to say that, can you please show me your passport? So obviously the basic answer says yes, sure, okay, or here it is. So you need to show her your passport. So that was like the first basic segment which happens in every IELTS interview. Moving ahead to the main part of the interview, which begins. So this is the session, this is the time, like the first portion is the one where you need to make yourself comfortable. You need to be sitting, you need to sit in a proper great posture where you're sitting straight, you're not leaning onto the screen. And if you're not able to hear, that doesn't mean that you're going to just move like that, okay, hame sun nahi raha hai. If you're not able to hear, just directly, use that switch and call someone. Though they check all these technical glitches before even starting the session, but still, you never know, anything can happen. So this was just to make it comfortable. And moving ahead to the part 1 of IELTS speaking, which is about your basic introduction. They're going to ask you very basic questions. So the basic questions could be about your hometown. It could be about your society where you live, and it is like a conversation of about 4 to 5 minutes, which includes that you don't have to include a very, heavy words, heavy vocabulary, or you have to prove your English. No, you just have to give all the answers in 2 to 3 lines, 2 to 3 lines each. Your answer should be answered. And that is just the best way where your examiner is trying to know you, so that you can have a further session. They're going to talk about what are you currently studying, or are you currently working, so you need to tell about that. Or are you currently studying, or are you working as well as you're studying? About your hometown, or do you like gifts, what kind of gifts you like, and all these questions. So there is a certain set which I'm going to upload in my Google Classroom. So those are like the fixed questions. The first part revolves around those questions only. You need to be very particular about your hometown. You should know what you have to actually say. I'm not saying you to learn your answer or something like that, but then you should have a basic mindset that if I want to tell something about Chandigarh, then I need to know that what all things I'm going to mention, because they can cross question you. At the time I gave my IELTS speaking, she was asking me that if you like Chandigarh so much, then why you want to move abroad? What is your reason? Give me the explanation behind that. So I got little confused, but then I had the correct answer of telling her that yes, these are the pros and these are the cons, that's why I want to move. But then she was trying to confuse me more and more. She was cross questioning me more and more, that you have a lot of good things to tell about Chandigarh, and still you want to move. You're saying that Chandigarh has a university which is included in the topmost ranks, which is Punjab University, and still you're looking for education in some other country. Why? why you want that. So basically my point is, I'm just telling you my experience to let you know that whatever you say, you need to be clear, because you never know when you'll be cross questioned. And actually I had the pair of questions as well. I'll just try once more to share my screen. If I'm able to do so, then I'll be able to show you more questions that I have planned for today. Just give me a second. Otherwise I'll just explain it like that only. And our meeting is going to end after 9 minutes. So I'll give you a reminder before 2 to 3 minutes. I'm going to end this meeting, and then you please join on the same link, okay? Okay, so this was like the first introductory part, which I was talking about, 30 seconds, where she's going to ask you your name and your ID check. This I've already explained you. How should I call you will be her question. And then you can say, you can call me as Isha, or you may address me by my first name. And may I see your passport? Yes, sure, you can see my passport. So moving ahead to the first part of the interview. So that I told you that the first part of the interview, not visible. My screen is not visible, but I'm sharing from here. It's showing me. May I know in the comment section, is my screen visible to you all or not? Yes, it's visible. Okay. Let's continue then. So your first part of the interview will be a 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, all right. If it's visible, then that's great. So these are few questions that they can ask you. Are you working or are you a student? Tell me something about your family. So just try to answer all these questions in 2 to 3 lines. You don't have to exaggerate into a big paragraph. And even if you try to do that, the invigilator, the examiner, is going to stop you. She's going to say, okay, let's move on to the next question. She's going to stop you. So you can get a fair idea that yes, she has that time planned in her mind. She has that mindset that yes, we're going to continue these for 4 to 5, continue this session for 4 to 5 minutes only. So don't worry if she is stopping you in between. Basically, my point is. So what is the importance of family in your life? You need to answer that in again 2 to 3 lines. Can you tell me something about your village or your city that you live in? Okay, if it is not visible, I hope you're able to hear me. So these, I've just written these basic questions only, not a big deal. So I'll again repeat the questions. These are the just examples. Are you working or are you a student? Tell me something about your family. What is the importance of family in your life? Can you tell me about the village or the city that you live in? So these are like short, simple conversations about your personal preferences and about your experiences. She can even ask you what kind of, if you say that yes, I'm currently working, then she can ask you what kind of work you're doing. So what are your responsibilities over there? What your daily routine looks like? What is the first thing that you do when you wake up in the morning? So these are like the very basic questions. And after that, she is going to move on to the okay. So now we are going to move on to the part 2, where she is going to assess you. It's not that she hasn't assessed you in part 1. Obviously, she has assessed you over there also. I don't know why people are joining this late. So this is like a cue card part. Cue card is where you given 1 minute, a topic will be displayed on your screen. You will be given 1 minute as a preparation time to think for it. You are given a pen and a pencil to note down your basic points, and then you have to talk for 1 to 2 minutes on that same topic. If you will exaggerate it for more than 2 minutes, she is going to stop you. She's going to say, okay, let's move on to our part 3. That means that you need to be, it's not wrong to speak for more than 2 minutes, but the thing is that it's good if you just try to limit yourself to the time limit so that the things are in a planned manner. But it's not wrong, or there's no harm. It is not going to fetch you any harm even if you exaggerate your answer for more than 2 minutes. But it is definitely going to reduce your band if you're not able to speak for 1 minute, and if you are not able to include all these questions that are mentioned. So what she's going to do is, on screen, she's going to mention one major line that will be your major question. That is, for example, I've mentioned over here, describe your favorite dish. Describe your favorite dish. You have this, but she'll be giving you some hints also. These hints are what the dish is, what it is made up of, how it is prepared, and why you like it. So all these are the questions that should be definitely included in your answer. They should be definitely included in your cue card topic that you will be speaking for next 1 to 2 minutes. If you're going to skip any of these answers, if you've not given these answers, or if you're not able to cover these answers in the next 2 minutes that are being given to you, that is going to reduce your band score. So you need to keep in mind that all these questions are, you have answered all these questions. And what you can do is, on the paper that is being given to you, sorry, this is phone. So on the paper that is being given to you, you can note down the basic points, what the dish is. For example, your dish is kheer. What it is made up of, you can write rice, milk, and nuts. How it is being prepared. So you can say boiled milk and whatever the steps are. Why you like it. Why you like it could include vocabulary, could include words that can actually attract, and that could show that, yes, you have good lexical variety. For example, I've also mentioned sweet, palatable taste. So it could be used, palatable is a word which is used for dishes especially. So you need to describe it in a better way. You need to describe it with the words. And I also have a list of words that you can actually use. And further, there is also a tip where you can, exaggerate your time. There are times when we don't know what we actually want to speak on that topic. We don't know much about it. For example, if someone is going to ask me about sports, then I don't have much idea about it. I get something about cue card, then I don't think so I'll be able to speak for 2 minutes. So everyone has his or her own interest, and there are certain topics where we are blank. We are clueless, that we don't know what to speak. So in that case, what I suggest is that, though this is like a basic suggestion for everyone, that you need to have an introductory line. For example, if they're saying describe your favorite dish, in this case, your introductory line could be, if I have to speak, I'm going to say, well, my mother cooks different dishes for me, but my favorite dish, or the dish that I like to eat on every weekend, is kheer. So it could be your introductory line, and we're just left with 1 minute. So I'm going to end the meeting over here, and you just join on the same link, and we're going to continue it forward then. Okay, so I'm ending, and Rajinder, I've read your question. I'm going to answer it. I'm ending the meeting, so you please join it over there. Should read. I'm not saying you to cram those answers or something like that. I'm just saying you to go through the questions. Like when I used to go for my IELTS speaking, I was confident enough that I'll be able to speak. But then I always used to fear, what if she's going to ask me the topic that I don't know? She asked me about movies. And frankly speaking, I'm the person who hasn't watched movies from past 2 years. I don't watch movies. What I did was, question came, the question was to tell about a movie that you like, with whom you have watched it, why you liked it, and what you've learned from it, Would you like to watch it? Like so and so hints. So what I did, I made my own story. I made my own name, own director, own producer, nothing in reality. So, you know what? That examiner asked me after the exam. She asked me, Isha, was that story, you've really watched that movie? I said, no, ma'am. I didn't had any idea. I don't watch movies. And so I just curated my own story. Then she was like, Isha, I'm highly impressed that you didn't give up. I was able to get that. Yes, she is making her own story, but then the way you made it was good. And so this is the only thing, that you just have to make your own story. You just need to cook up. It is not that, see, they are not going to judge you for your ideas. They absolutely, IELTS speaking is based on 4 demarcations. In that, nowhere it is included that they are going to give you band score for your ideas that you're giving. No, even if obviously you don't have to go off topic. They're asking about movies, I can't say I'm telling about a song, because you are not going to judge me for my you know uh, content or my ideas. Obviously I'm not saying you to do that, but they are not going to judge you for your ideas. Even if your ideas are average, below average, no, they are going to include that what kind of words you're using to express them. If I am using the word which is palatable to describe a dish, then she definitely knows that yes, I know the wide words that are related to certain things. And you don't have to do that. You can't use a word palatable for describing a movie. So again, we have a vocabulary list. If someone is asking about your favorite adventurous sports, then if you feel that I will not be able to speak on that, or I don't know much words that are related to it, or then you should definitely go through that list and try to include those words in your day to day vocabulary. And the best way to practice for IELTS speaking, in fact the best way to just practice for speaking in your real life for your English, just for improving your English, is just stand in the front of a mirror or stand in the front of a wall and talk to the wall, talk to the mirror. Just have a timer. Okay, Kanika, I've noted it. Just have a timer for 2 minutes. Start speaking in the front of the mirror, and with time, I can guarantee you, you can improve yourself. And then listen to yourself after that. You just try to record it and then listen to yourself, and I can assure you, it is definitely going to make difference to your speaking. And so this was the cue card. You know what? Before starting this part 2, the examiner is even going to say you that please don't get panicked if I stop you, because it's her task to stop you after 2 minutes. So even if she stops you, please don't worry that, oh, she has stopped me, now she's going to deduct my bands. No, nothing like that is going to happen. But then I always suggest that try to finish it off within 2 minutes. And so, as I told you that you need to have an introductory line, you always need to have a concluding line as well, so that your examiner knows, okay, you have come to an end and you're about to end it, and you have framed it in a manner where you had an introductory line, where you had all the question answered that were being asked to you, ending it by a concluding line. So always have a concluding line. Concluding line could be, I'm just giving an example in this case. So concluding line could be, at the end, I would just like to say that the kheer that my mother makes is cannot be replaced by any other meal which I have in 5-star restaurants, and I'm going to cherish it for my entire lifetime. So these could be this is just an example. You could even try to make a better one. I've just made it on the spot. So it's like you need to have an introductory line followed by questions to all the answers and ending it with a concluding line. So this was cue card. So now I would just like to ask, you can let me know in the comment section if any one of you are having any doubts in part 1 or part 2. Any doubt that you want to ask me, any confusion, I am definitely here to answer you. Yeah, and I guess now I'm audible to everybody. I just muted it by mistake. So is everybody clear with introduction, with part 1, part 2, how cue card is going to happen, how you have to note down your basic points? It is very, very crucial to utilize your 1 minute properly. If you are not able to utilize your 1 minute of preparation time properly, when you have to talk for 1 to 2 minutes, you will be blank. So have a fair idea that how you have to utilize. And I have told you the basic point of utilizing your 1 minute is just note down the keywords. Note down the answers to all those questions that are being asked to you in 1 to 2 words. Note down the words that you will be using. Note down the verbs that you will be using to describe your answer. For example, if you have to say, I was too happy, then you could use the word, I was joyful, or I was filled with contentment. So these are the words that you can use, and I'll be giving you definitely the list of the words that you can definitely include. If you think that you haven't spoken for 1 minute or you want to include more, then I'm going to give you a list of words that you can definitely include. You can use it for your last 10 to 20 seconds of your IELTS speaking, and it is going to enhance you and help a lot in getting a good band score. So shall we move on to the next part, which is part 3? If everyone is clear, crystal clear with things, please type a big yes in the comment section so that I can move ahead. Only Rajendra is typing. Okay, Sakshi is also saying yes, yes. Okay. Okay, so let's move ahead then. Now that's great. At 8, after 8. Okay. So now let's move on to the part 3, which is the discussion one, where she's going to cross question you. She cannot cross question you in part 2. What she can do is that she can ask you 1 to 2 questions more, like the last speaking that I gave, that was my first speaking where she literally asked me questions in my part 2. Like my first 3 IELTS speaking, no one asked me the questions in cue card, but then they can ask you 1 to 2 questions just to finish off the time. If they think that you have, utilized less time, then they can ask you. But the real part where they can cross question you, where they have the right to cross question you, is this part 3, which is the discussion part, which is going to carry continued for 4 to 5 minutes. So basically in 4 to 5 minutes में वो ऐसा मतलब डर जाता है बंदा, because the way they are going to ask you the question from every word na, and which creates a fear that whether I'm speaking the right thing or why she's asking me so much, why she's questioning me so much. So, and there is a fear which shows up on your face. But then, as I always say, that you don't have to fear for your ideas. You have to fear for the correct form of verbs, for the correct kind of grammar, for vocabulary, for variety, lexical variety, and whether you're connecting your sentences or not. So you need to have those points in your mind rather than thinking that whether I am, whether I'm able to give those contented ideas or not. So let's hop on to part 3, which is the discussion part, which is going to go on for 4 to 5 minutes. So whatever you have answered in part 2, they are going to discuss more on it. They are going to ask more questions related to that topic only. For example, is sweet dish, this is, I have typed it wrong. Is sweet dish necessary after lunch or dinner? So these questions are to be answered in 3 to 4 lines. Like in the part 1, I told you that you need to be short, you need to be precise. But here you need to explain your things in a better way, and you need to give your answers in 3 to 4 lines. And here also the basic pattern where you can start your answer with an introductory line. You always don't have to say, is sweet dish necessary for you after lunch or dinner? You don't have to say, no, sweet dish is not necessary after lunch or dinner. No, you don't have to do that. You need to paraphrase it. You need to make it in your own words. You don't have to use these same words. You don't have to use the word necessary. You can use the word important, integral, pivotal, or other words that could replace necessary, but definitely you don't have to use these same words. So that is going to show that yes, you have the wide variety of vocabulary. Is sweet dish necessary after lunch or dinner? So definitely you're going to start with an introductory line followed by the answer that you want to give. You all must be thinking why I'm not giving you the sample answers. I'll be giving you sample answers, but I'm not giving you because I really don't want you to copy all those answers. Have your own ideas, try to frame your own answers, and we can even have a session in the comment section, or someone, if anybody who wants to switch on the mic, then also we can do. After I'll explain it. And then giving your answer, why you feel, and ending it again with a very small, precise concluding line. Concluding line in the sense, so which is going to again relate to your answer. It should be relatable. You don't have to just throw on any ideas. Coherence, cohesion, where every line is attached to each other. See, on the very first day when I taught about Ielts speaking, I was telling you about things that were connectors, words that connect. If you have to speak your first line, then I gave you the words. If you have to connect your ideas, I gave you the words. On the top of that, in addition to it, furthermore, moreover, to exaggerate, to explain it further, to elucidate. So these are the words that you can actually move to add more ideas. And I also told you the words to oppose. It could be, however. Just give me a second. So I hope that I am clear till here that how you have to frame your answers using the words that I've given you. Those words should be included because we have band scores for it. We have band scores for cohesion. I'm again and again repeating that cohesion is necessary. And the words could be furthermore. And if you have to contradict, it could be however. On the other hand, I also believe that. So these are the words, and then ending it up obviously with a concluding line. And the other question that I've mentioned is what type of dishes, sweet dishes, you love to eat or cook. Again, you need to put in your ideas that I like this, and don't use these same words that dishes. You need to have different words. See, at that point of time, if you're not able to think of words that are coming in your mind, if you're not able to think of those synonyms of dishes, then definitely you have to use dishes. But again, I'm saying the more you're going to read, the more you're going to add to your vocabulary. There are n number of words that could replace dishes, but whenever we are in the front of that IELTS examiner, everyone gets, panic. There's a sort of fear. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a list in the Google Classroom for the words that could be replaced. There is a vocabulary list if a cue card comes related to adventure. There is a vocabulary list if cue card comes related to health, related to some dish, related to sports, related to physical fitness, related to health. So these are the different topics that could be there in the cue card, and you need to be prepared to give all these answers. So now what I want is that I want somebody to answer me these questions, but I'll be asking one-on-one. That means that you have to give me answer only for the first question right now. Who's going to give me the answer for are you working or are you a student in just 2 to 3 lines? And the one who will be giving the answer is going to obviously switch on the audio, and the rest will be typing this answer in the comment section. This is a very basic question. I don't think so it's a big deal. So who will be giving the answer? Why we are not getting any replies? See, this is what if you're going to speak here, if you're going to speak up here, then definitely you will be able to learn more and more every day, and then gain that confidence, so that you don't get that fear in the front of your IELTS examiner. So come on, you can speak up. Okay. Rajendra has written, recently I have completed my senior secondary in art stream, full stop. Now I wish to go abroad for my higher studies. Okay. So you can also write, recently I've completed my senior secondary education in art stream. Further, I wish to go to abroad. So now is also a word which is connecting, but then you can also use some heavy word which could be further or after this, but now is also correct. Okay, anyone else? Please write your answers in the comment section. Are you working or are you a student? Rajinder, I want you to please switch on your mic and then tell me this. You need to speak up this answer.
Repeat, ma'am.
Sorry?
Ma'am, same question.
Yes, the same question.
Recently, I have completed my senior secondary in art stream. Now I wish to go abroad for my higher studies.
Okay. So tell me something about your family. So this is the second question. Tell me something about your family. Only Rajinder is typing arrests people. They don't know whether they're working or are they students. No, I'm just kidding to give you, some spirit to come up. Let me check my participants. Okay, so type the next question, which is, tell me something about your family. You could use the words a joint family, nuclear family. So we have come up with the next answer. Well, I'm working as an IT project coordinator in a web development company. Along with this, I have just started with my MBA IT. Okay. So I would like to add upon that whenever we have to give IELTS speaking, you just try to avoid contractions. Contractions could be, I told you that they also won't. See over here, IT, you have to mention it, information technology. For this MBA, you need to tell it completely that Masters of Business Administration. So try to avoid these contractions. Try to give the full description of whatever your word is, and shouldn't, won't, I'll, no, I will. So there are bans. You are being scored for these things also. IELTS markings don't include ban score for contractions. So avoid using these. You can't say I'm doing MBBS. No, you need to explain it complete. You need to tell this, not the full. You need to tell the full form of it. Okay, someone else, please come up with the answer of the next question. Aditi, can you please switch on your mic and then say this answer? The one which you've written. And it will be better if we can have you on screen. That is going to help you.
Maybe some other day.
You always say this.
Actually,
okay, maybe some other day. Sorry. What? Can you repeat?
Actually, I get so tired when I come off my office.
Okay, it's okay. Not a big deal. I was also hanging out with my friends. I just came back at 6:30. Okay, I'm a student in pursuing Bachelor of Science. Dear, your bachelor spellings are wrong. In medical first year. Okay, I want to go abroad and study further. See, again, I would like to point out that I am a student and pursuing Bachelor of Sciences in medical first year. See, you are writing 2 lines, but your first line is nowhere connecting with the second line. You need to have a cohesive device. You need to have a connector along with it. So the connector over here could be obviously further. further I want to migrate abroad. I want to migrate to this country. I want to migrate to Canada, Australia, UK, Ireland, whatever you wish to, you can do that. So basically, I'm repeating again and again, try to connect your sentences. Try to inculcate as many connectors when you are commencing with a new line. It is going to definitely add up to your band score. I can assure you that. So Manali, can I please have a sentence that includes connectors? Is everyone clear with the idea and the concept of connectors? Like what connectors are? You have enough examples of connectors. I even uploaded a sheet of connectors in my Google Classroom. You can go through it once if you people want more ideas, more diversification for connectors in that case. Okay, we have from Kanika, hey myself Kanika, avoid saying myself. That's wrong English basically. Whenever you go through the introduction videos also, you will get to know that myself Isha is wrong English, myself Kanika is wrong English. So avoid saying this. And you don't have to say myself Kanika because in the very first, see, I told you that introductory part, she has already asked you your name. She has asked you over there only. She has even asked you how she can address you. So avoid telling your name again and again over here. Currently pursuing Bachelor's of Commerce from Chandigarh. I live in Punjab along with 2 siblings and parents, thereof comprising of a nuclear family. Okay, so you've also included the answer for your second question. I hope, I guess that. Well, okay. Currently pursuing Bachelor's of Commerce. No, you can't be that short. I told you need to answer in at least 2 to 3 lines. Please add something more to it to make it, more impressive. Try to give some more information because your examiner is trying to know more about you. So you can add something or the other to it. Definitely 1-line answer. You can make it 2 lines. Currently pursuing Bachelor's of Commerce from Chandigarh. No, add something more to it. I live in Punjab along with my 2 siblings and parents, thereof comprising of a nuclear family. Okay. Again, you could have included a connector to start with or anything that you can use. The rest you're going, the idea is good, the concept is good. It's just about using the right words and framing it in the right way. Kanika is saying, currently pursuing, I've already read this. I hope everybody is clear with what I'm trying to say, what I'm basically trying to, tell everybody that where you all want to have to work. Actually, I belong to actually, no, actually. Why you have to say actually? Don't use the word actually over here. Actually, I belong to a nuclear family. There are 5 members in my family. My father, my mother, my 2 siblings, including me. No line is connecting. Rajinder, lines should be connected. I belong to a nuclear family. Full stop lag gaya. There are 5 members in my family. अभी मैं इसको बोल के दिखाऊंगी कितना boring लगने वाला है ये. I belong to a nuclear family. There are 5 members in my family. My father and my mother and 2 siblings, including me. No. What if I would have framed it in a better way using the connectors? You must be thinking that why this Isha is pointing her answers again and again. I'm just trying to help you out because these are I'm not saying these answers are wrong. This is not wrong answer which is telling about your family that you have 5 members, your father, your mother, and your 2 siblings. No, absolutely not. They are not wrong. I'm just trying to say, try to connect your sentences. I have also mentioned that in part 1 of the interview, you don't have to work on those heavy words, on that vocabulary. No. Just try to be simple, try to be precise, but then connectivity is important. Yes, ma'am, you can explain me the right answer. Yes, I'm going to explain you the right answer. But before that, Aman was raising hand. Yes, Aman, what do you want to say? Please go ahead. You can either type or you can switch on your mic.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening. I'm from a farmer family, but my father is in education department, and me and my father is only pair in my village who had postgraduate both, and so it's make we different from other villagers. So that's it.
Great. There were some grammatical errors, so it makes us different from other. Okay, but see, he has tried to include words like I told you the natural fillers. If you've attended my class where I was teaching about natural fillers and connectors, I told you the words that is so, but. also, because these are the natural fillers that should be included in your answers, and we try to include them in our day-to-day life as well. We always use the words like so, like the Aman was saying, he has, he has used 4 connectors, he has used so, also, but he has used these words. So this is what I'm trying to inculcate, that try to give better attention, try to give more attention to connectors in your answers. So Rajinder is asking me to give her a better answer, to explain her the right answer. Okay, so Rajinder, first of all, I would like to ask that you've gone through that natural fillers and connectors wala, now you're going to say that you were not able to access the Google Classroom. I know. It's okay, Rajinder. I'm going to teach you how to access the Google Classroom. Don't worry. I am there to help you out. So, Rajinder, again, I'm explaining that what I'm trying to say is include the words. Actually, don't include this word actually. This is not making sense over here, because no matter what, it's actual only. I belong to a nuclear family. There are 5 members. My father, my mother. If I would have given this answer now, I would have completed in 1 line itself. I wouldn't have taken it to 3 lines. The same is the scenario with me also. Like, I also belong to a nuclear family. I'll give you the proper answer to it now, if I have to give the answer. Well, I belong to a nuclear family consisting of 5 members, my father, my mother, and my 2 younger siblings, and I am the eldest of all. That's it. That would be the answer that I would have given. See how this was just the 1 line, but it was connected. I was not breaking the link. Whenever, if you were listening to me, you knew that, okay, this is connecting, this is connecting. Even if I haven't used a lot of connectors, but my line was connective in nature. So this is what I'm trying to tell. Okay, so since we have already reached our time limit, that is 8 p.m., let's move on to our, what is the importance of family? What is the importance of family? Try to write this answer in the comment section. What you feel? What is your answer to this? Try to write 2 lines that should be connected to each other. I want the answer that is connected. I want the line which is lines that are connected. Try to connect those lines. I would like to give you a connector that you can use. Write a line about your family, and then you can write on top of that. On top of that, a family could be whatever you wish to write. You can use that connector. In addition to, you can use that connector. So these are like the 2 samples that I've given you, but you can use whatever you wish. Jot down the answer in the comment section. Okay, Aman is raising his hand. Yes, Aman, go ahead with your answer. Even if you wish to, on your screen, you can do that. If you wish to. In tomorrow. Aman, are you raising your hand? I'm able to see that. I'm waiting for your answer. But till then, you're not here. I would just like to mention everybody that tomorrow I'll be teaching IELTS writing. Task 2, I'll be teaching. That is going to include a task of discuss both views and give your own opinion. I'll be teaching that. I hope everybody is writing in the comment section. I'm waiting for your answers. Someone has already written, family is lifeline, as they are the ones who stood by me through all the tough waters of life. Moreover, I guess family gives meaning to life. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Sakshi, can you please switch on your mic and say this answer?
Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
Okay. The answer is family is lifeline, as they are the ones who stood by me through all the hard waters of life. Actually, family gives meaning to life.
You've used the word actually?
Right now, while speaking, I have.
No. Moreover was more perfect. Use the word moreover.
Yeah.
Moreover, I guess family gives meaning to life. That was good. The good one.
Actually, when I'm speaking now, it becomes difficult to use those formal words. I am in a habit of using these casual words.
So this is what I'm saying. I always tell you all to avoid writing in the comment section and come on the screen and then speak, because if you'll practice to include these words now, then only you will be able to include them in your real time IELTS speaking. Because obviously no one uses these words like moreover. I never speak these words in my English when I'm talking to my friends somewhere abroad. No, I don't use such words. So the only thing is that you can practice more and more. Rather than writing in the comment section, you could have raised your hand, you could have spoken the answer, so that you get a better grip of the language and the better hold of it. Okay, Kanika, but you've written the good one. You've tried to include the words. Kanika, can I have you to say this answer? If it would be better if you'll just switch on your, yeah, that's great. I liked it.
Second. Am I visible?
Yes, you're visible.
Okay. A family is just like a blood in a human body, without which life would be meaningless and inexistent.
Okay. So what if someone says you to translate this question into 2 lines? What are you going to add? No, I'm not saying this is wrong. Definitely it's not wrong. You've written a good one. Okay, try to think more about it. And okay, that's great. That's great. Okay, speak it once again. Speak the same line once again. Kanika, I'm saying to please repeat this same line once again.
This which I have written main section.
No, the one which you've written. Sit straight in the posture that I've told you and then try to say this. You muted. You muted.
A family is just like a blood in a human body, without which life would be meaningless and inexistent.
Perfect. 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 Great. I appreciate you. You can switch off your video and your mic. Okay. So we're going to end this session here. Please let me know in the comment section who wants to have one-on-one session. They can stay, and please let me know the names first. Then I'll tell what to do. We have just ended with our today's class. We'll be doing IELTS writing tomorrow. Task 2, I've already told you. along with some listening, because today it was not working. I don't know what has happened to my laptop. What would be the topic? Topic for what? Tanika dear, topic for what? Topic for task 2 tomorrow.
For that personal task means which would be at 8.
Hello.
That would be I'll speaking. One-on-one session where I'll be asking you to speak. Me, okay. Then we have Aditi and Kanika. All right. 2 students are more than enough for today. All right. Let's end this session and I'll see you all. Sakshi is also saying, okay, Sakshi, you can also join. I'm going to end this meeting. Again, join on the same link. And if something, you can join in the same link. If something happens, then text me on the WhatsApp. I have only 3 people for today: Sakshi, Kanika, and Aditi. Rajinder is also saying me also. Okay, only 4. Now no more. Okay, 4. That's it. See you all tomorrow. Have a great evening. Tight.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sleep tight.